I'm not gonna lie, I used to lose games with Suyo, not because of mechanics, but because of the wrong builds. Most players only use one build every game, and that's exactly why they can't carry. In this video, I'll show you 6 different Suyo builds that you should be using depending on the situation. And trust me, once you understand this, your damage and win rate will go crazy. This is the most common and reliable build for Suyo because it gives a perfect balance of cooldown reduction, strong mid-game damage, and survivability, making it effective in almost any match. With items like Magic Boots, Hunter Strike, and War Axe, you can rotate quickly and use your skills more often, while Blade of Despair and Malefic Roar ensure your damage stays high, and Queen's Wings helps you survive longer in fights. Overall, you're not too squishy but still deal heavy damage. The playstyle for this build is simple. Poke enemies early, rotate faster on the map, and focus on burst damage before disengaging. Don't rush in immediately, but instead wait for the perfect timing to strike. After using the balanced first build, this second setup shifts completely into a high-risk, high-reward playstyle. This is your delete button build, focused purely on burst damage with zero room for mistakes. With items like Magic Boots, Blade of Heptasy, and Hunter Strike, you gain strong mobility and penetration early, while Blade of Despair, Malefic Roar, and Endless Battle massively amplify your damage to the point where a single full combo can instantly eliminate squishy heroes. But here's the trade-off. You have no defensive items. Once you commit, there's no turning back. If your combo fails or you get caught, you're dead. That's why your playstyle needs to be very disciplined and patient. Instead of fighting head-on, you should stay hidden in bushes, track enemy positioning, and wait specifically for marksmen or mages to be out of position. The moment you find your target, go all in with your full combo and disengage immediately after the kill. Think of yourself less as a fighter and more like an assassin. Your job is not to start fights, but to instantly remove a key enemy before the fight even begins. This third build is all about turning Suyo into a sustained monster with strong spell vamp, max cooldown reduction, and massive HP, allowing you to stay in fights much longer than usual. With Tough Boots and War Axe, you maintain solid early presence, while Hunter Strike helps cap your cooldown reduction so you can spam skills more often, which is key to your sustain. Queen's Wings and Oracle work together to boost your survivability and healing effects, making every skill cast feel more impactful, while Brute Force adds extra HP and defense the longer you stay active in combat. The result is a build where you don't rely on one-shot damage. Instead, you continuously deal damage, heal, and outlast enemies in extended fights. Your playstyle shifts into staying aggressive but controlled. You want to keep using your skills as much as possible, stick to fights longer, and slowly overwhelm opponents through constant pressure and sustain rather than quick bursts. Now this fourth build is where things get really satisfying.
What is that?
This is your answer to all those annoying healing heroes that just won't die. If you're facing heroes like Estes, Angela, Uranus, or any lineup with heavy sustain, this build becomes an absolute must because without anti-heal, you're basically fighting an endless HP bar. With Magic Boots, Hunter Strike, and War Axe, you still keep your mobility and strong damage output, but the real game changer here is Sea Halberd, which cuts down their healing and makes them finally killable. Then you finish it off with Blade of Despair and Malefic Roar, so you're not sacrificing damage, you're still hitting insanely hard while shutting down their sustain. The playstyle here is aggressive and smart. Always prioritize healing heroes first, and make sure you apply anti-heal as early as possible in fights so they can't out-heal your damage. And here's the most important tip.
What is that?
Don't wait until late game to build this. If you see heavy healing early, rush Sea Halberd immediately, because the earlier you reduce their sustain, the easier the entire game becomes. This fifth build is your safest option when the game gets tough. Think of it as your anti-heal tank mode, where you sacrifice burst damage to become a durable team-focused disruptor. With Magic Boots and War Axe,
What is that?
you still keep decent damage and mobility, but the core of this build is Dominance Ice Oracle, Queen's Wings, and Immortality, which together make you extremely tanky while constantly applying anti-heal to enemies. What makes this build powerful is that you're no longer trying to carry through kills. Instead, you become hard to kill, annoying to deal with, and incredibly valuable in team fights by reducing enemy healing and soaking damage. Your playstyle completely shifts here. You're not the main killer anymore. You focus on disrupting enemies, staying alive as long as possible, and enabling your team to finish fights. This is perfect when your team lacks a frontline or when the enemy heavily relies on sustain, because you can absorb pressure, weaken their healing, and create space for your teammates to dominate the fight. This final build is something most players overlook, but it's insanely effective against tank-heavy lineups. This is your anti-tank setup designed to completely melt even the toughest frontliners. With Magic Boots and War Axe, you keep your usual mobility and scaling, but the real power spike comes from Demon Hunter Sword and Malefic Roar, where Demon Hunter Sword deals HP-based damage and Malefic Roar cuts through high armor, making tanks feel surprisingly squishy. Add Blade of Despair for extra burst and Queen's Wings for survivability, and you get a build that can both shred and survive in fights. The playstyle here is different from your usual assassin mindset. Instead of ignoring the front line, you actually focus them first, quickly breaking them down so your team can move forward, then transition into cleaning up the backline after the tanks fall. And to wrap everything up, here's the most important tip. Stop using just one build every game. Adapt based on the enemy, understand your role in each match, and choose the right setup. That's what separates a normal Suyo player from someone who can actually carry games. So those are the 6 builds that can completely change how you play Suyo, from balanced to one-shot to full sustain, anti-heal, and even tank shredder. The key here is simple. Don't lock yourself into just one build, adapt, read the enemy, and choose what your team actually needs. That's how you win more games and carry harder. If you learned something from this, make sure to like, follow, and share. And let me know which build is your favorite or what you want to see next. See you in the next one.
Legendary!